Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Sunday today. I missed being with you yesterday, but I was at a very fun demonstrator event here locally. Lots of fun meeting up with fellow demonstrators in the area, as well as we made 6 make and take projects, and so we had a really good time. A lovely potluck lunch. Always the food is so good. So that was fun yesterday, but I missed, like I said, I missed being with you. So today I am here and I'm going to share an easel card, and I'm going to share, I'm using the Branching Out bundle. Love this bundle. I used it the other day on some floating shape cards that I made, and it's just lovely. You can use it for all sorts of occasions. I mean, it feels somewhat wintry, and you can make it look quite wintry, but there isn't actually a Christmas sentiment in it, for example. So while it's in the holiday catalog, there is it's technically not a holiday catalog anymore. It shows how long I've been around. September to December mini catalog. But there are all sorts of sentiments for any occasion that you can use this card. And so I love to make fun folds. And so this is a step card. No, not a step card, an easel card, get them mixed up, with this branching out bundle. Let's get it right. Branching out bundle. All right, I'm going to switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. Just going to make sure I'm not missing any comments as they come in. I have to refresh here and there. All right. So this is the Branching Out bundle. It is, like I said, it is in the mini catalog. Comes with this great stamp set. So it's got boughs and pine cones, so a little bit wintry feeling with that, but lots of sentiments, including birthday, hello, thinking of you, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. So I guess that could be for Christmas. And 2 different branches, different boughs, pine cones. Yeah, and then look at these dies. So there's the dies for some branches and some pine cones and some berries, but look, you get 5 different of these really lovely stitched rectangle dies with the curved corners, and that's what we're going to use today as part of this. And I just realized I forgot a piece of designer series paper, so I'm quickly going to grab that and I will be right back. All right. Okay, back. So for this card, I'm going to use a piece of early espresso, and this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. I'm going to keep this because I do need to cut a piece. And for my designer series paper, I am using the Autumn Tulle designer series paper. Some really pretty fall paper. So the one I'm using has got these hello, welcome. You just ordered this sweet. Yes, it's lovely. So I'm using this piece. It's got the mossy meadow with the pheasants on the back, but I'm using the one with the kind of stems. And I'm going to cut this to be 2 1/2 by 4. Yeah. I love the fall colors of that Autumn Tulle. It's a specialty paper. Okay, so like I said, this is an easel card. So we're going to fold our card base in half. So on that 5 1/2 inch score line. Hey Bonnie, welcome. And give it a good burnish. And then we're going to take and fold upwards, so mount and fold on that 2 3/4 inch score line. So it's going to sit like this, and then we're going to do some die cutting. This piece is going to adhere on to that first or that bottom section of the card base. You can change up the way this looks by changing the designer series paper. Yeah, but I just thought this was kind of pretty with these long, what look like kind of long stems to me. Okay, so that's the start of the card base. Now we're going to cut out, I've got a piece of basic white for the inside of the card. I'm going to put that there because I always end up cutting it when I don't mean to. So we're going to use E. Oh, I know what I probably did with it. Yes, I did. I lost the dies. So I went over with the designer series paper. Okay, so we're going to use some of these rectangles to cut. So I'm going to use the third largest and the fourth largest of these to cut out the shape that will kind of pop up on the card. And so I'm going to cut the largest one out of Early Espresso, and the second largest, or the next one down in Basic White, and that's the one we're going to do stamping on. So I'm just going to take this and move it. Bring my stamp and cut and emboss machine in. There we go. Let's see. We'll put that on there and that on so we can cut both of these pieces at once. Technically, you don't actually have to put a piece of postage. Ooh, sorry, big bang, thing fell down. I have a little kind of basket that doesn't clip on, it just kind of hangs on the side of my desk with my heat tool in it, and it always seems to fall, and I'll have to do something different than that. Yeah, so technically you don't actually have to adhere it on. I just kind of like it so it doesn't move around too much. So I've got my piece of Basic White that I'm going to stamp on, and my piece of Early Espresso. So these two are going to layer together just like that. And we'll put our dies back so I don't lose them. There we go. Okay, so let's do some stamping. I'm going to use Early Espresso, and I'm going to use Old Olive. And where's my stamp set? My stamp set is here. So we're going to use, you could use either of the branches, but I'm going to use this one that kind of looks like it has a little, where the buds would come out. So there are two. There's this long kind of willowy one here, and then this one. And this is the one I'm using. Kind of looks like it's got buds, and so that's what we're going to put the pine cones on, and the boughs. So let's get the pine cones. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is in Early Espresso, I'm going to stamp my branch just like that, and then we'll leave that open. And in Old Olive, I'm now going to stamp these kind of pine cone, I'll call them tufts, and there are three different ones in the stamp set, and if you look at see how they're positioned, they kind of go, so these three go make it easy to really stamp those bottom ones. There's also some bigger ones, but they don't kind of line up. So depending on what you're stamping or where you're stamping, these kind of position on. So I'm going to use this one. I think I can get it positioned in all the places for stamping. Just play around with these boughs and see what kind of line up with the branches that you're stamping on. Gosh, well, that is Old Olive. That is looking more garden green to me than Old Olive, but no, it's definitely Old Olive. All right, and then there is a single bough that you can use if you want to add some more boughs. I'm just going to stamp one right there, just so it's got a little extra. The Old Olive away. And then now we're going to take and stamp. This is one of the little tiny, oops, there we go, pine cones. I'm going to stamp off on these, and so we're just going to stamp some pine cones. And I'm stamping kind of over. If I go over the boughs or the tufts, I'm okay with that. I just want to add some pine cones in. and I don't want them too dark. So, and while we've got that out, so that's going to go on the front of my other piece. So while we've got that out, let's stamp the sentiment, which the one I'm using is that one that says, thinking of you. Let's do this. Thinking of you brings joy to my heart. Is that the one I wanted to use? It's a nice one. No, this is the one I wanted to use. I wanted it longer. Okay, we'll put that over there. This is the one that says, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. So I'm stamping this. It doesn't look like it fits, but you can just get it on a half-inch piece wide of basic white cardstock. Hey Therese, welcome. I love that saying. Okay, I think I've got all my stamping done, and so we can start putting our card together. So that's my card base. So if you want to, you can either use dimensionals or just adhere this flat. So we'll adhere, I'm going to use dimensionals and pop it up a bit. So this stamped image with these bows is going to go on the larger die cut. Like that. And then this piece is going to be the piece that is the easel. So this is going to pop up like that. It's going to lay flat when you mail it, but then it will stand open, and we're going to put a little stopper here to allow you, whoever gets this, to keep it open. So the only place we're going to adhere this piece down is along the designer series paper. So only on the bottom half of your piece are you going to actually put. In this case, I'm using dimensionals. If you wanted to use just some liquid glue or stamp and seal or tear and tape, whatever it is you use, that works too, but I'm going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to just line that up kind of evenly on the card, making sure that the dimensionals are only stuck to this designer series paper. And I didn't get that on very straight, but it just might have to stay that way. I don't know if I can get it off. Oh, just, there we go. Didn't get that on very straight. Okay, there we go, that's better. So now we've got the card front done. All we have to do is the inside of the card. We'll put some embellishments on, and we'll put some twine on in a minute. But we're gonna make a kind of a stopper with this. So I have a piece, I've got my image, I have a piece of early espresso, and that's probably too long. So this is cut 3/4 of an inch by 4. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put dimensionals on both of these, because I really want this to be high enough to keep the card open. If you don't get it kind of popped up enough, it won't stay open. And I'm just going to line this up like that. And now I'm going to take, so this piece can now go right across the front of this, and so I probably do need to trim that down just a little bit. There we go. So it's going to go across like that, and I'm going to use dimensionals again. Like I said, I want this to be quite high so it keeps my my easel open. All right, there we go. And then this can adhere on the inside of the card. So this this stopper, as I call it, it does make the card be a little fatter, because it's not going to be completely flat when you close it, because you've got that stopper. But now when they open the card, this the DSP piece, this bottom piece of your flap, will just tuck in there and the card stays open. So now all we have to do now is put some embellishments on. And somewhere, oh, there it is. Okay, so these are called, and you can tell how many I've used, these are called Street Dots. They are part of the Autumn Tulle suite, and I absolutely love them. I've made some swap cards, which is why I've used so many. So we're just going to put some of these on. Just one on there. And then the last thing we're going to use is, this is Early Espresso and Old Olive linen thread. I believe it's part of the, it's either part of the Autumn Tulle suite, or it is part of the Gathering Moments suite, which is an online exclusive. Can't remember, but it's linen thread as opposed to baker's twine. I'm going to cut a piece, it's got way longer than I need, and I'm going to double it over. So now I've got 2 strands, and I'm going to tie a little bow with it. I love linen thread, and so how can I not love this Old Olive and Early Espresso linen thread. All right, so then we'll trim. Didn't need that to be as long as I made it, but we'll just use a glue dot to stick that on like that, just like that. Okay, so there we go. There is the easel card using this branching out bundle from the September to December mini catalog. I have been having so much fun playing with this, and in fact, this is the bundle that we are using for the card club this month. So if you love this, you can sign up for my card club, and you will get 3 projects, 3 make and take projects, plus some of the designer series paper embellishments that we've used on the projects in a kit. Now, it's only available if you live in Canada, but if you live outside of Canada and are interested in the PDF, I'm happy to sell you the PDF for it. So if you want that, the PDF will be available at any time. You can just reach out to me, or if you want the kit, today is the last day to sign up before the next kit. We release a new kit starting tomorrow. So if you're interested in this, make sure you get your name. There is a link to a Google form on my Facebook group. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you on Tuesday evening for a sketch. So come join me at 6:30.